Hey friend, it is Brandon Gustafson with Assisted Living Investing. Excited to have you here with me on the channel today. Our topic for our live today is going to be what are assisted living levels of care? What do those look like? Why do they matter? And why you should be caring about what those assisted living levels of care are. So excited to have you here with me on the channel today. As we get going, if you have any questions as we go along, make sure you type those in so we can get to those here at the end of the session, of the live session, so I can answer those questions for you. I want to also remind you that you can get a free business plan checklist by going to assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist. We're going to have a ticker going across the bottom there. So make sure you go and grab that free resource. And if you watch this on YouTube, we will have all of the links to everything that I give away for free on there as well. So make sure you go and grab that information for yourself. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's add that up here. Okay, and try to do a different virtual background. Now you can just see my last name there a little bit. That's fine. I'm going to work through this while I'm working in a basement for probably for the foreseeable future, and you're just going to have to deal with weird stuff in the background. It's better than construction stuff behind me. Anyways, excited to have you. Like I mentioned, our call today, we're going to be, or our, I guess not call, but our topic for today is what are assisted living levels of care? And you can get that access to that business plan checklist by going to assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist, and go ahead and download that, and it will help you kind of get started on your business plan. Creating that's going to be the base of everything that you need to do as you get started on your investment journey. So with that said, I'll give you a little bit of background on who I am and why you should listen to me. So my name is Brandon Gustafson. I own two assisted living facilities. I live in Utah. One of my facilities is in Idaho. One is in Colorado. So I operate those remotely. Have gone through that process. Have secured over $1.5 million in FBA funding. Have a master's in healthcare administration. And also have worked in the healthcare industry for over a decade. So I've done a lot of kind of work and things here in the industry. I've owned my facilities now for over close to 4 years is what we're getting to. So have a lot of experience there. And if you're new here, if you're just like new to the channel and new to the idea of assisted living, type in newbie down below. And if you have been here for a while and you want to correct me or give some input to people, type in operator down below just so I can get a feel for who is watching in here, so we can help you along the way. Let us get now into the topic for our call today, or I keep calling it a call for our video today. What are those levels of care? So oftentimes, most facilities are going to have 3 to 4 levels of care. Sometimes there's going to be a level 5. It really depends on how things are structured inside of a facility. And really what it says is they're used to help assess a resident, their needs, and that's going to help you set the rates for what you're going to be charging them for a bed rate. It's also if you're going the Medicaid route, and I talk a lot about Medicaid on this channel, so if you're interested in learning more about Medicaid, type in Medicaid down below, and we'll send you some links for some of the Medicaid videos that I have. But it will still help you raise those Medicaid rates for people as well. So there's actually some really good benefits to doing these assessments and identifying the level of care that a resident needs. It's going to let you identify as well if you need more staff, if you need to do a higher level of care, if somebody needs to be discharged from your facility and go to a higher level of care because they need skilled nursing or something along those lines. So these are the types of things that you just really want to pay attention to. It's worth it to take the time and do this, especially when somebody new comes into the facility. Other times when you want to do these assessments and identify where they're at from a level of care perspective is at least annually. And when you see a significant change in the level of care you are providing. So somebody has a fall, somebody goes to the hospital to the emergency room for something, and they come back and they have regressed, or have improved significantly. One of those two things, you want to do a reassessment and make sure that you are providing the level of care that is appropriate to the resident, and then you're getting compensated fairly for the amount of service that you are providing them. So those are the types of areas where you want to do this at. And we're going to dive into the different levels of care, what they mean, and kind of what fits into that. And you as an operator, as an administrator, you are going to be able to kind of identify what your levels of care are, and build these tools. If you're interested in learning more about assessments, how they work, and how I do them at my facility, just type in assessment down below, and I'll take that as a sign that you all want a session, one of these live sessions, or another video that goes deep into assessment tools. It's something that we're actually going to be going into a little bit in our mastermind program as well. So if you're interested in learning more about that, go to assistedlivinginvesting.net/mastermind, and you can learn about that, or go to schedule a free strategy call with me, and we can chat about it and see if it's a good fit for you or not. Okay, so now let's get into the levels of care. I'm just going to go through 3 levels of care here, but like I mentioned, there could be anything from 3 to 5 levels of care. It's really how you want to structure these things, and these are not hard and fast rules. These are more guidelines for you to follow and just kind of be aware of as you're looking at your residents and the type of care that they need and the level of care that they need to be at. So a level 1 resident is going to be, there's little supervision, little to no supervision, in fact. The other thing I wanted to point out, and I had this thought on the last slide and it just left me, is you're going to do this for a bunch of different types of things. So you're going to assess a resident on their ability to dress themselves, on their ability to bathe themselves, toileting. You're going to have, all the ADLs that you do, say there's 20 of them, you want to assess them on each thing. So for one, maybe they can toilet just fine, so they're at level 1 in toileting, but they have a really hard time, buttoning their shirt and getting dressed in the morning, and so that's a level 2 or a level 3. So you're going to kind of individually assess them on each of these things, and then you typically use like a point system that goes level 1 to level 4 or 5, and then you have, based off of how many points they have, you have like a dollar amount, and this is how you set your rates. So if you want me to dive deeper into that, again, type in assessment and we can do a session on this. But we're going to focus back on this. What is a level of care, and kind of what does it mean? Now, a level of care, level 1 is, like I mentioned, little to no supervision. They can do the thing mostly by themselves. There may be some assistance, like really basic assistance with some of those ADLs. And typically when you're doing that, kind of, you're assessing them overall, you're going to say, you fall into the bucket of a level 1, level 2, level 3. Each ADL is going to have its own separate thing, but you kind of group them into a thing and say you're a level 1 resident, a level 2 resident, based off of what they need. Because these level 1 types of residents, they just don't need that much help. Just a little bit of guidance and maybe some prompting. Hey, go put your shirt on. Do you need to go to the bathroom? Just prompting types of things is what you can see with a level 1 level of care. You're just meeting those basic needs, making sure that they don't have any issues and fall into bad habits and things like that. It's really what you want to do. A level 2 resident is going to be somebody where you are providing some more hands-on assistance. So let's go to the example of toileting. So level 1 resident, they can go by themselves. Maybe you just have to prompt them. Hey, do you need to go use the restroom? It's getting kind of stinky. Do you need to go use the restroom? That kind of a thing. It's been a couple hours. Do you need to go to the restroom? You just drank a bunch of water. That kind of a thing. Level 2 is helping them go to the restroom, maybe wiping them, cleaning them up, that type of a thing. Making sure you're just kind of standing out there just in case they were to fall. Maybe they're not a fall risk, but you just want to make sure that they're okay. This is a level 2 type of an example with toileting. So you want to provide a little bit of hands-on assistance. You're there, you're kind of interacting with them and helping them out through the ADL that they have. ADL is activities of daily living. There's still going to be some resident autonomy there, though. Maybe they just need help finishing wiping or something along those lines. They can go by themselves, and you're just there to give them some support if they need it. Some of these motor skills are where you can find this getting into place where they're level 2. Maybe they need some assistance washing their hair while they're bathing, or washing the body, or things like that, or doing some dressing, doing buttons, tying shoes, those types of things. You're a little bit more hands-on in helping out the residents. This is a level 2. Now let's get into a level 3. So this is as a whole, a level 3 resident is they need help with multiple ADLs. But in here, you might need to have two people there. Let's say they have trouble getting out of bed, or they've fallen and they can't get up, and you need to have two people there to lift them. This is what is called a two-person lift. So you're doing those types of things. Um, the staff is completing most, if not all, of the ADLs for the resident. They're feeding them. They are completely bathing them. They're helping, maybe they can't use the restroom anymore. They're on a catheter. They're changing the catheter. Those types of things are what kind of falls into a level 3, and maybe even level 4, depending on how you want to structure the way that you're doing your ADLs. This could fit into any of those levels, and how you want to structure these. I'm keeping this really simple and just doing 3 levels of care here, though. So you want to just kind of look at what that's going to look like for you and for your residents. And when I say what we do in our facilities, actually, we actually do 5 levels here. And I'm going to bump this over to additional levels of care. We actually do 5. We do a 0 to 4-point scale. So 0 means they can do everything by themselves. It's kind of what I was talking about with level 1. Level 4 is we have to do everything for them. And so they kind of fit in that. Most residents in our facilities are sitting like at a level 1 overall. They're like a level 1 resident or a level 2 resident is kind of where they fit in there. And then there might be 1 or 2 ADLs that they're up to a level 3 type of assistance, but they might also have somewhere they're just level 0. Level 0, if they do it by themselves. Level 1 is like prompting. Level 2 is we're doing a little bit. Level 3 is we're doing a lot. And level 4 is we do everything for them. That kind of gives you an idea of how we do it at our facility. You can structure these however you want. These additional levels of care are special assistance. I mentioned maybe you're changing a catheter, or you need you hire a nurse to go and do that type of a thing. You are you're very, very hands-on in helping people do things. So you can see what that looks like, and that for us in our facilities would be a level 4 level of care. When you get to this point where they are needing more assistance than you can provide at your assisted living, and this happens from time to time, and it could be a couple of things. One, it could be that they have dementia and they are really struggling. And as an assisted living facility, if you're not a locked facility, you probably you can have people that are in early stages of dementia up to a point, but there's going to come a time where they are a risk for leaving the facility and running away, and you don't want to deal with that as an assisted living, just the liability of it. And so that's where you would shift them over to memory care. Now you could have memory care and assisted living inside of your same home. That's very possible, but it's something that if they're dealing with some of those struggles and they need that memory care type level of care, then you're going to want to maybe discharge them from your facility and admit them over to a memory care facility. Or possibly they need extra assistance, nursing care, like round the clock nursing care, or a lot more nursing care than you are providing inside of your assisted living. Because in assisted living, you're typically going to have an RN that is there once a week, doing some of these assessments and checking in on things and then seeing how things are going, but they're not really there to provide all of the care that your residents need. And at some point, your residents may get to the point where they need that. You can bring in hospice. Hospice can come in and they can help out with that a little bit to keep them inside of the home, especially if they're at end of life and you don't want to disrupt them, and they would rather pass inside of your facility, then that's something that you want to take into consideration. The hospice might be the thing that you need to do to bring in the extra support to help your staff. That's a possibility. But if they are severely declining and they still have a significant amount of life left, weeks to months left, and you can see that they're going to need more assistance, you might want to discharge them and get them into a skilled nursing facility. So those are kind of the ways that you want to handle some of these, some of those situations when it comes to they may need to just move to a different level of care. You could also get residents who they come into the facility and they improve drastically to the point that you're not doing anything, and they're kind of bored because people are, they're not as active as they would like them to be, and maybe they need to get discharged and put into an independent living. So they still have a little bit of support and things like that, but you're not really doing much work there. And I have a video on independent living. If you want to search through the channel, you can go and find that as well. Or if you're interested in learning more, just type in independent, and I can do something on that specific to that, and put it in my queue. So that's kind of some of the things that you want to go through as you're looking at levels of care and where people are at. So as we get into this, I know I've got at least one question here. If you have other questions, then go ahead and type those in. If you're watching after the fact, type them in as well. And while you are typing questions, then make sure you like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get notified when we go live on Tuesdays and put out our other long form videos on Thursdays, so you get all the the information that you need there. And if you're interested in some of the assistance, get the business plan checklist that I've got scrolling down below, and also get our business planning guide, which is going to give you the base of everything you need. There's 5 phases that I teach. Business plan is number 1, and the business planning guide is the easiest way to get started. But if you need some extra support and things as you're going through, check out the mastermind program at assistedlivinginvesting.net/mastermind. And that will, it's a year-long program. Get in there, it can really help you out and moving things along. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about what that looks like and how it works, if it's a good fit for you, I do free strategy sessions where we really dive deep and make sure it's a good fit. You can sign up for that at assistedlivinginvesting.net/strategy. So I've got a question in here by Silver Wings Ministry. They say, I have to go to another client. Will this be available in a couple hours on the recording, or please send it? Thanks, Lon. Lon is great. Lon is awesome. I had a conversation with him on Saturday. Yes, Lon, we'll post this, so it'll be in the Facebook group. It will also be on YouTube. So we'll make sure, and I'll probably send you an email, send you to follow up with you on a couple of things. So thanks for putting that in there. But yeah, if there's any other questions, make sure you type those in down below. I hope this information was helpful for you, though, and that gave you a little bit of guidance as you're moving things along on your investment journey here, and just the understanding of what it takes to run one of these homes, especially as it gets to the point where you're just trying to figure out how do I how do I work with different types of residents and the level of care and things like that. I hope that this has been beneficial for you to give you that guidance and help you along your path, along your journey to understanding what that looks like. And yeah, here at assistedlivinginvesting.net, we're here to help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. I love doing this. I love helping people, giving them guidance, trying to create some time and financial freedom for you. So if that is the person, if you are that person, make sure you reach out to me at assistedlivinginvesting.net/strategy. Get the free business plan checklist. And want to remind you that it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Keep going, keep making progress, step by step by step. I promise, if you do and you're consistent and persistent at doing that, you're going to be successful. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.